Good morning, welcome back to a brand new video from a kind of unpredictable miracle mountain. If you're new around here, I am renovating this beautiful stone house behind me into a place where you are going to be able to come and stay. This is not what the weather forecast predicted, but can we just appreciate for a second these beautiful autumnal colours that have started here on Miracle Mountain. It's very unpredictable weather today, but that's what happens when you live on the side of a mountain. You might have noticed the scaffolding behind me, and that is because today's job is quite a tricky one, and it's up there. Let me show you what I need to do. So these big stones that hold up the roof above the doorways, they're called lintels, and basically on these old stone buildings in this area there is two of them. So you can see just there's a really big thick granite piece of stone, and that spreads the weight across the doorway with the roof. But there is a second one just there, and you can see the sky through it. That's a gap that it's moved of around 1 foot, and it's well off, and you can see there's all sorts of stuff growing through it. Let me try and show you. So you can see there's vines growing through it. There's a big vine here actually that needs to come out. So this all needs cleaning, and this stone is literally just perched on the edge. I don't want to stand under it for too long because it doesn't look very safe at all. So this is going to be a tricky job, moving that stone back into that pocket right there. And you can see the doorway here. The stone on the right hand side is perfectly fine. It's nice and flush with the other stone, so no work needs to be done to that side. But this side, you can see how it spreads out, and that is really just hanging on for dear life. So yeah, that's going to be quite tricky because these stones weigh a ton. Before I crack on with any work, I just wanted to give you guys a little update about Bee and what's going on. So her surgery, if you don't know already, she's having a full hysterectomy. So it's a really big surgery. It's going to take a lot of recovery time, and it actually got pushed back 2 weeks. So she just left yesterday, and she needed to go, unfortunately, another week before she actually has the surgery done for all of the pre-op precautions or whatever they have to go through. So that means she had to leave a little bit earlier than planned, although she left later than planned, earlier than planned the second time round. So her surgery is in about a week's time, which she's definitely a little bit nervous, that's for sure, and so am I. I'm sure everything's going to be perfectly fine, but I'm here on my own now, looking after the farm and the animals and everything, and I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to make more regular videos while I'm here on my own to keep myself, I mean, I've already got enough stuff to be getting on with, but just to give myself more of a purpose and just to show up on YouTube, because it's been really hard lately to be making videos, but I'm just going to go for it. So one thing I really hope is that you guys will show up every time I post a video. So make sure you subscribed, put the notifications on, and then every time I post a video, you'll know. I'm gonna get into a routine of posting regular videos, but at the moment, I don't know if I'm gonna do 2, 3, 4 a week. So there's gonna be plenty more videos, and I hope you guys are excited to see the developments on the property. But yeah, please have Bee in your thoughts. She is having her surgery in a week's time. As I said, she will have to then stay in the UK for a whole month to recover and to go for checkups. And then we are hoping that she will just make it back for Christmas, but who knows? If she needs to recover and she needs longer time in the UK, then she'll just have to stay in the UK for Christmas, and I'll just spend Christmas Day working on this house. First thing I'm going to do is just move all of these stones out the way. These are going to come in very useful for the project because they are in fact part of the wall that's come down when we had the fire and the roof collapsed in. So these stones are building stones. They're nice, they've got flat sides. So what I want to do with this project is just be really mindful of where I put stuff. Keep everything organized, so when I do need a stone of a certain size, I can go to that pile, I can grab it, and I can fit it in the wall when I'm rebuilding. I'm going to use these step ladders for now because this area here is really sketchy. There's a big ditch, so I'd have to prop up the scaffolding quite a lot and it's going to be in the way in a minute. So I'm just going to use the step ladders, try and get to some of them tiles up there if I can. Let's see if I can get this positioned in a place where I'm happy with. Okay, so change of plan. The wind picked up. I decided to get on the scaffolding because that was way too sketchy on that ladder. And I need to be safe when I'm on my own because a hospital's a long way away. All I'm doing is I'm just going to cut all these brambles back so I can see what I'm working with. But already I can see from this angle that this stonework is in bad shape. So the way they make these houses is they have two walls and then they infill the two walls with stuff like this, small stones and clay, mud, anything they could get their hands on to make it as strong as possible and make the walls really thick for the insulation. These walls are over 1/2 meter thick, but I can already see that this lintel is way off. It's way worse than I first thought. So let's see, I'll get rid of all of this, prop it up and see where we're at. So I've completely cleaned the brambles, but I'm really not feeling good about this wall where the lintel's got a prop up next to. It's so weak. You can see here, it's just gonna fall. So it's better to let it fall, take the stones out and rebuild it back up nice and strong because, yeah, we can't have this not propping up a roof. This is one of the major structural parts of the building. I'm just going to move this stone over so I know what went where. And I need to make some room anyway, so it's not a bad thing.
Do you want your very own website but don't know where to start?
Why not try out Squarespace and see for yourself how simple it is to create your very own professional looking website in no time. Designed with the user in mind, Squarespace has an easy and uncomplicated interface so you can bring your ideas to life. Browse through their templates to see which one works for you and the web page you have in mind. You can preview each template to see how it looks in real time, and it's no hassle to switch up the template at any point. We've changed our website template a couple of times over the years and it's been a breeze. The templates are customizable. Add and remove any features you want whilst altering the colour, font, layout and more. Squarespace gives you the option to buy your own domain directly through them, where you can search through various options and buy multiple domains if you wish. Handy features such as a free logo maker, newsletter and even a commerce section ensures you can have the website you want. We love having everything to do with our website in one place rather than having numerous third-party applications that all have to tie in together. Squarespace has wrapped it all up in one. So what you're waiting for? Click the link in our description or head to squarespace.com/indieprojects for a 14-day free trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. The brambles have got right into the middle of the stone wall. So remember I said they sandwiched the two stones together with lots of smaller stones and infill with clay. Well, the brambles have grown straight through the middle, which is obviously made it a lot weaker. Looking at this, a lot of this is going to have to be rebuilt. This is definitely my biggest project yet, but with a big project like this comes big reward for sure. I've really got a vision of how this place can be, and I can't wait until you guys can actually come and stay here. I'm just trying to get it back to bare stone, because what I don't want is this massive piece of granite sitting on essentially earth. It needs to be on a bed of mortar, but if I can get it in place and then later down the line I can prop it back up, get a bed of mortar under there to strengthen it, because the stone's actually fine, there's no cracks in it. Like I said about the weather, it's not meant to be windy today, and as soon as I got the scaffolding it's gone really windy. I can actually see much better into this stone barn, and the stonework, it looks in really good condition, so that's positive. But let me update you about this lintel. It is way off the position where it needs to be. You can see over there to the left hand side I've made a pad for it to sit on now. And what I'm going to do is tie a ratchet strap around this stone, and that way I can try and maneuver it into position. So I just noticed that this strap, when I was tightening it up, is really frayed, and it looks like a mouse has eaten through it. This has been sitting in the workshop for a year, so I imagine a mouse has got in there, chewed it apart, and it's lost all of its strength. So gotta go and find a new ratchet strap. So the lintel is now strapped on, which is good because it's safe. It's a big beefy strap, so it can hold that weight. And then I've got the acro there, which will support and give me some upwards leverage. So basically keep turning this and it lifts it up, and then I can keep ratcheting the strap, which should pull it in. But the only trouble I'm having is, you can see there, it's hitting the other stone. So when this was built, they would have put this in before that stone. So what I need to do is chip away at that stone so I've got a nice smooth entryway into that pad that I just created. So I just went and got myself a brick hammer and a chisel, and I'm going to take a bit of this stone apart. I'm going to move some of these stones. They're just all in the way and they're loose. I don't want to fall in on top of me. Okay, that whole stone moved, which is not good. I'm gonna have to prop it up. So I ended up just moving the stone completely out of the way. The reason I don't want to just push these stones off is because they weigh so much. Even that stone, to lift it up to this height of about 2 meters, it's a real challenge. So if I can keep as many stones of the big ones up here as possible, basically I can rebuild that way. But let's see if I can get this into position now. Well, that was a huge success. The lintel is now back in place. I need to get the scaffolding back over there and take an aerial view from underneath. It looks good, but I need to look from above, and then that stone that I moved out the way, I need to move back in place, because otherwise it's a bit sketchy having a stone that big, loose and not connected to anything else. So the lintel will hold that stone back when I'm working inside the barn area. So now I'm up here, the lintel is sitting in a really nice place, but this big stone, it's not going to fit really nicely back into that pocket. So I've made a decision, I'm just going to push it down because I don't feel safe working in there with that lurking above me. So that stone's gone, and in due course I can build this wall and this pocket area here between the two lintels up way better with some other stones. That stone wasn't very nice, and It's probably half the reason that this has come out. You can't get much better timing than that. It's just started to rain. The wind is really picking up. I've checked the weather forecast and it has changed, and we're gonna get some pretty serious wind later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this strap around the stone, around the two lintels, binding them together. I'm just gonna leave that while I'm working inside until I can secure it with some proper stone and some mortar as well, so it's proper locked in, because the last thing I want to do is have that fall down into the barn while I'm clearing it all out. And check this out, I just discovered another horseshoe just sticking out the wall, so that's pretty cool. Horseshoes are good luck, so definitely luck was on my side today. That job turned out to be not as hard as I thought it was going to be. This is all part of the process of seeing what actually needs doing to this stone house. Before I can do any of the pretty stuff, I need to do these jobs where I'm making sure it's safe to work in, clearing out the whole inside. It might be that that wall needs to come down completely, but I won't know until I've seen the inside. The barn next to it looks really good condition, but who knows? Time will tell. So make sure you're subscribed, have the notifications on, because probably in the next couple of days there's going to be another video. So make sure you tune in, follow along, and it will keep me occupied while bees away. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.